Hi guys. I finally got a chance to do the recording here on the topic with dealing with braces. And there's been some great comments in here, and by all means, I'm not, per se an expert, but I have dealt with it a lot with students. I actually worked with a band director who he himself grew up and had braces and showed me some techniques as well, and that's what I'm going to share with you. I like the idea of the wax on the braces. I think they're called chop savers, some of them that have that. That's a great thing. But what's kind of interesting with my students is I give them the option of using it, but once we're about a month into getting reconditioned, most of my students don't use it because they don't want that extra amount of material in their mouth to hinder their playing some more. They find a way around it. So let's get into it. When I get a student who has been playing and then all of a sudden is going to get braces or has braces, I try to reprogram them this way, and it's just all perspectives to begin with. First is I have them write their name, okay? And just hear me out. So I'm going to write my name. All right, and hopefully I spell it correctly, right? All right, so there you go. Then I say, okay, switch hands. Okay? And then see what happens. This is where it's kind of nice that my name's kind of short so it doesn't take forever here. Alright, so there you go. That's with my other hand. You can see that. Now, that doesn't mean I can't write or I can't read. What this means is I don't have the motor skills trained for my opposite hand. And that's what's happening with the braces. The student still knows how to play a trumpet, and we have to reassure them you can still play. You just have to retrain the fine motor skills. So let's talk about that. All right, here's the next perspective. I liken the whole embouchure setup to a reed player, like a clarinet. Okay, and this is my take on it, and this seems to clear up a lot of things for these people and the students. The teeth are the back of the mouthpiece, like on a clarinet. That's the hard rubber where the reed fits up against. The lip is the reed. The mouthpiece is the ligature. How tight you put the ligature on the reed is only necessary to keep the reed in contact with the mouthpiece so the air can go against it. That's all this is. When the student figures that out, then they realize, well, I don't need a lot of pressure. I just need enough to keep the ligature so that the reed stays against the hard surface of the mouthpiece, and now it will vibrate. That seems to help because then they're not really concerned about putting so much pressure against the teeth, which now have metal and braces on them. Okay? So, the next step is to get them used to compression. Sometimes I'll have them actually buzz on a trombone mouthpiece because it's low compression. Okay? But to get them there quicker, what I may do is take their trumpet mouthpiece, stick a pencil in it, and you can use your finger, but I like the pencil because you can hold it away, and have them gently put it up, form the embouchure, and try to buzz gently. Now the buzz is going to be kind of hard because it's going to have resistance, but they should feel a small little part of their lip vibrate. I'm not blowing very hard, but I'm getting feedback from the resistance here and the resistance of the air. And I'm not using a lot of pressure here at all, very minimal, but I can get this to work. And usually within a few moments, the students can get that to work, even with the new braces. This will get them the sensation of the lip vibrating and the motor skills. It's kind of like learning how to write with the opposite hand, with very simple alphabets like an A, and not a cursive A, just something simple to start with. Okay? Then sometimes, and you can do any of these tips, sometimes you only need one or two of these, and sometimes all of them, okay? Another one is to play on just the lead pipe, okay? Nothing right there. And just nice and easy. And the key I cannot emphasize is easy. It has to be very gentle and delicate here. We're trying to get the sensation, the motor skills here, okay? Not trying to put a lot of air, Just fine motor skills. Then I'll have them work down. Then they should get a sensation of tingling right here, which that means the extra blood flow is going there, which means they're going to start internalizing this feel. And if they like, they can go a little higher. But don't go too high too soon. This is a process. It's going to take a while. If the student can play a high C before they had braces, it's going to take a while to get to the high C. But it is possible. I've had several 8th graders with braces that can play high C and above. All right? And I'm envious because they actually use less pressure than I do in setting. So it's completely possible. Okay? Okay, another one is to do it with, of course, the trumpet all assembled here. And that's to play pedal tones. Now, if they've never played pedal tones before, a teacher of mine always had me, when learning, do the fingering of a pedal tone a half step lower. So if I'm playing a pedal F, I'm actually going to finger it E. And gently, please. Now, we don't want them relaxing the corners. This is to set the corners. We want this right here to freely vibrate. We're trying to, again, build finesse, build muscle memory, and fine motor skills here. All the way down to C. Now, when you get lower, a neat little trick is, if the notes don't want to speak, is to open up the water key. Again, you're not blowing really hard. You're trying to just finesse this, get this nice and relaxed. And the neat side effect to this is the students may actually open up their sound more than they ever had. They may get to a concert F and have the biggest, prettiest sound they've ever had, because now they've worked solely on fine motor skills, because they don't want to think about any kind of pressure here. They want to think about the resistance of the instrument, allowing this reed here to vibrate against the solid rubber of, like, the clarinet mouthpiece, which in this case will be where the braces are at. So again, I can't stress that what my students really seem to grasp is the concept of a wind or reed instrument where, like I said, this is the back of the mouthpiece where the reed lays on top, and this is the ligature, which is only tight enough to hold the reed against that mouthpiece. And that's it. So I hope this is something you can use. It's worked for me. A lot of it is not my ideas. Like I said, it was shown to me by a band director years ago who himself had gone through it. And the thing I cannot stress enough is patience. And go back to the handwriting example I gave. They know how to play trumpet. That's not the problem. And reassure them, you have to learn the fine motor skills, just like writing with your opposite hand. Okay? Good luck. I hope that helps.